My name is Eric JT Forensic, and I'm here to teach you how to draft. This is video 2 of the series for the Cape House, first floor plan. So if you did not see video 1 already, please see that video so that we don't have to go over all that material again, okay? This is going to be step 1, so completing what you see in front of you. I'm going to walk you through each one of these steps. So first, we're going to draw the exterior walls at 5 inches, the interior walls at 4.5 inches, the wall between the kitchen and the bathroom, this wall right here, 6.5 inches, the posts on the front porch, 5.5 by 5.5. The dimensions shown are only temp, not intended on the final drawing. Other dimension technique to follow. So that means that these dimensions that you see on the drawing here, these are going to help make sure that everything's in the right spot, but these are not the proper way to make architectural dimensions. Don't get me wrong, they're very similar, but probably the biggest difference is the dimensions for the windows and exterior doors. We add frame construction, you don't go side to side. That's masonry construction, you'll go side to side. With framed construction, we show a center line. So there are other differences, but for the most part, that's one of the big ones. So these dimensions that you see here are very important, but these are not the final way we're going to dimension it. So that being said, you need to draw to these dimensions, of course, and you're going to be double checking as you go, but do a final double check of everything. So lay a piece of tracing paper over your drawing when it's complete and double check all the dimensions. Write out all these dimensions. They don't have to be super pretty, but they should be on there. You don't have to letter them perfectly, but the numbers should be legible. Double check each one of them and use a highlighter marker to mark off on your printed out drawing that you have from, I'm going to send you a PDF so you can print it out and double check each dimension. So what does that mean? It means you wrote here 17.8, you double checked it with your scale, highlight it, use your marker to highlight the 17.8, you know that's done. Highlight the 3 foot, the 2.9, the 8'1", the 2.9, the 2.2, the 2.10. Highlight each and every number, making sure it's correct before you ever go to step 2. Because if you do not do that, more than most likely, I mean, you could get everything perfectly and nothing happens, but let's just say something is off a little bit and then you find out in step 2 when you're a little bit further down the line already. Could be a hassle to try to fix something, erase a lot and fix it. So we want to avoid that at all costs. So don't put the dimensions on your piece of vellum, but lay a piece of tracing paper over the top and put the dimensions on that. Again, they don't have to be super pretty, they don't have to be lettered, but you should have each and every one, and you should use a highlighter marker to mark them off. All windows in this home are 3 foot wide, so that's how wide they are. Just the width is, because we're just showing a floor plan. If we are drawing the elevations, which we will do one day, but right now we're just working on the floor plan. We just have to worry about the width. We don't have to worry about the height. So 3 feet wide. 3 feet for all the windows. 3 foot, 3 foot, 3 foot, 3 foot. Look at the doors for their sizes. So on the doors, you're going to see 2 numbers. Well, you see 4 numbers, but you see 2 numbers split by an X. So this says 3 foot 0 inches by 6 foot 8 inches. The first number is how wide the door opening is. So the distance from this line to this line is 3 feet. The second number, the 6 foot 8, is how tall the door is. Again, we're not going to be seeing the height of doors because we're not drawing elevations right now. So we're only concerned when we're drawing a floor plan is the number before the X, the 2 numbers before the X, the 3 foot 0 inches. You can see that's 3 foot right there. From there to there is 3 feet. So this door is how big? 2'6". Don't worry about the 6'8" right now. Don't worry about the number after the X. That's how tall it is. This number, 2'6". This door, even though it's on an angle, 2'6". So the distance from this line to this line is 2'6", and the door on the angle is 2'6". How thick is it? 1.5 inches. So the thickness of the door is 1.5 inches. This line to this line, on all of them, 1.5 inches. They're probably usually 1 3/4 in real life, but 1.5 inches, you could draw them. If you want to draw them even 2 inches, it's not the end of the world. So how big is this door? 2 foot 4 inches. 2 foot 4 inches. Ignore the X. And this door, 2 foot 0 inches. But there's two of them, 2 foot 0 inches. 2 foot here, 2 foot here, two 2-foot doors. So from here to here is how much? 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 feet. Interior steps are 10-inch treads. Exteriors are 12 inches treads. So the line from here to here is 10 inches. Here to here is 10 inches. Here to here, 10, 10, 10. That's the interior steps, and also these ones, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. The exterior steps from here to here is 12, 12, 12, or 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 feet, for a grand total of 3 feet. Same thing on these back steps, 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 feet, grand total of 3 feet, 12, 12, 12. Interior handrail is 2 inches wide. So we always need a handrail so somebody can hold on as they're climbing the steps, and also so they don't fall off. So 2 inches. So that's this line from here to here is 2 inches. This is the side of the steps. We go over 1 inch and then another 2 inches. And this one is right attached to the wall. So here's the wall, and then go over 2 inches. Also, the railings down here are 2 inches on the steps going down to the basement, and 2 inches here. Yeah, so these are the steps going down to the basement, and these are the steps going upstairs. So they're right on top of each other to save space, and that's a very common practice. If you have basement and a second story in your house, more than most likely you have this set up if you have a regular straight staircase. The railings on the outside are 3.5. 3.5 right here. So that's this railing, and then these railings also coming around are 3.5, 3.5. These posts with the X on them are 5.5 by 5.5. Actually says it here. Each post is 5.5 by 5.5. But the railings are 3.5. The distance from line to line is 3.5. Exterior doors to receive a doorsill. So this is the doorsill. Anytime you have a door going to the outside, we have something known as a weather step. Now they change, there can be different weather steps. A weather step basically is if it snows, we want to have a little bit of space or even rain before it starts to pour into the house. So it gives us a little bit of clearance here. So it depends on where you're at, how much you're concerned about this, but I've seen them anywhere from 6 inches to 2 inches or even less, maybe even flat, like almost basically flat. But even if it's really flat, you probably still have 3/4 of an inch from one to the other. So from here inside the house to stepping down, you have a step down. Again, it could be as little as 3/4 up to 6 inches or even more, I guess. There's really no saying it. Myself, if I'm designing a brand new house, I like to try to keep it, honestly, I like to be flush, and we could keep it or 3/4 of an inch. We could keep it 3/4 of an inch here because we do have a covered porch, so there would not be as much snow buildup as opposed to if it was not a roof over the top of this. But all that being said, I normally would probably do 3 inches if there's no roof. From here to here is 3 inches up. So anytime you have a door going outside, there's a sill. So we have a door going outside in the back, and there's another sill. This, even though it's a sliding door, there's still a sill. So from the inside of the house to the outside, we step down. Doors on the inside, there's no line. There's no lines coming across here. So it's just clear through. There's no lines, no sill. Do not include dimensions. That's what I talked about before. So all the dimensions that you see here, you need to use to build the house, but do not put them on here. Maybe put them on a piece of trace paper over the top of the vellum and then draw them. Okay. If you have any questions about anything there, please comment to me. If you have, you can reach out to me. Okay. So let's start to draw this. So when you're drawing this plan, you don't try to figure out how long is this wall to here. Well, it says 1'11", so maybe I should draw 1'11", and then it's 5 inches thick, so I'll go down 5 inches. And then how long is this line? Well, it's 5 inches minus 1'11", so that's 1'6". So yeah, so 1'11", 5, 1'6". That's not the way you do it. How do you do it? You draw all the walls of the house lightly, ghost drafting. Keep them very light until you're ready to erase the openings for the doors and windows. So that way, you definitely get all the walls in the right spot. First of all, double check them before you start to cut in any doors and windows, and it's just a lot easier. And I'm going to demonstrate that right now. So we need to make the overall dimension of 42.2. I'm just going to stick with the main house. You see two numbers over here, 35.2 and 30'2". Because we have a 5-foot porch coming off the front of the house. So that's where 30'2" plus 5 is 35.2. We're concerned with the main house right now, 30'2" by 42.2. So I'm going to start with a whole rectangle of 42'2", comma 30'2". All right, so that's the whole outside of the house, not including the front porch, just the inside walls. Now, what do we say that the exterior walls are? 5 inches. So I just offset 5 inches, so I have all my exterior walls there. So that's the box where I have to put the inside of my house. Coming off of this wall, 10 feet. There is 10 feet. And 4.5 inch thick wall. Now you might be asking me why I have this extension. And again, I'm using AutoCAD. You don't have to draw this out here. For AutoCAD, it's just easier for me to grab the objects when I call them tails. I'm not sure if that's a term or I just came up with it, but I call them tails to make it easier to grab them out here. The thickness of the closet, or the depth of the closet, is 3'6". And then we have another 4.5 inch wall. And then the remainder, if this was correct, from here to here is 15.1, and it is. So we're doing good so far. All right. Now 15 feet. $15 feet is this room. So this room is almost completed. Well, not completed, but boxed out. 4.5. Then the bathroom, which is 5 feet. And then remember we said the plumbing wall was bigger. The plumbing wall is 6.5. And that's it. So that leaves us with a remainder of 20'5". Again, you should really take your time. I know I'm moving pretty fast, but take your time. Double check that the outside is 42.2. And this outside is 30'2". 30'2", 42.2. That's the box, okay? Start with the box, and then where we go inside, we went inside 5 inches because the exterior walls are 5 inches. 30'2" by 42.2. So definitely double check that before you go any further, because you might be like, wait a second, this didn't come out. You told me this is supposed to be 20'5". I'm not getting that. I'm getting 19.6 for some reason or whatever. But so double check the outside before you go any further. So let me start to do this front rooms. 16'9½". 4.5. 7 feet. So there, I copied both walls at the same time, but I still had my 7 feet. I already put the 4.5-inch wall, so I'm already done with the front, more or less. 16'9½". This wall actually comes all the way across here. So I can project those lines across. Stop there for a second. And let me start to put these, clean this up over here. Remember to erase this right here. See the difference between this intersection and this one? What's the difference? This little line right here. Some people forget that. Gotta erase that little line right there. Okay. These closets, 5'7½". 4.5. And 5'7½". No. Clean up a little bit so it doesn't get too lost in what's going on. Turn that to that to that. There's a hallway here, and it has this little drop down in this bedroom. So how wide is the hallway? It's 3 feet. So I'm going to copy these two lines. 3 foot, 4.5. We're going to extend this line this way. Extend these here. Clean this up. This back here. Gotta build the closet for the linen closet right here, which is 2 foot. So I can bring, I'll do this slower. Bring this back 2 feet. Bring this back 4.5. Okay. So this was 2 feet. And the hallway was 3 feet hallway. So the bedroom just has this little bump out where the door's gonna go. Now, this is the bathroom. I'll clean this up back here. We need to make the entrance to the bathroom and finish up this linen closet here. So we want 2'10" from this wall over. 2'10", and that's going to go to this line, and then you can go another 4.5 inches over. And then we don't have the doors yet, but this is where the door will be for the bathroom, the door for the bedroom, the other door for the bedroom, the closet door for this one's here, this one's here. We can clean up this wall, take this out and this out. So it looks like, you know, you could drive down all these streets and nothing's stopping us. Start to clean up the front here. I made this pick box a little bit bigger than I normally do because I thought it might help in the video, but it's slowing me down drafting. I apologize. $3'7.5". For the hallway right here. And then 4.5. Which should leave us with from here to here 3 feet, which it is, so that's good. And then we can open up this hallway right here. We didn't finish this closet yet, so let's finish that. 4'8.5". 4.5. Again, this drawing is a 1/4 inch equals a foot, and the paper is a 24 inch by 18 inch piece of vellum, the bigger sheets of paper. 4'3". So that's from the front door to the first step. What's wrong with this picture? This little line right here. So let's get rid of that. That's all the interior walls, believe it or not. It wasn't too difficult, right? So we can start to cut in some of the doors. So this is the living room. Let's start with this one. So from this wall over is 6'4" and 3/4. And there's a 4-foot opening. And from here down, 5'6.5". And a 4-foot opening. Right, again, I changed the aperture, so that's why I'm drafting a little bit slower, I'm sorry. 4 feet, 5'6.5", and 5'6.5". So it's actually perfectly centered, and using AutoCAD, I could have did it a different way, but I just wanted to show you by hand drafting. Got the 2 doors there. I'm just going to cut all the openings, and then I'll show you how to draw the doors. So from here, it's 3 inches. So from here to here, that's called a nib. That's basically where you see molding around the door, trim around the door, which is known as casework. Piece of trim is here. So this line right here and this line are equal. They're both 3 inches. 3 inches, 3 inches. So that's the opening there. In these closets, what you're going to want to find is the middle point. I'll give it to you from the side to the middle. Actually, I'll give you to the side when it's all done. Make your life easier. 1'3", 2'6". So from here to here, 1'6" 3/4", which will be the same number here. 1'6" 3/4", 1'6" 3/4. And that being said, this should be the same too. Oops. Okay. 1'6" 3/4", and then 2'6". So that's the opening for the closet right there. Okay, so this door, 3 inches off the wall. Six. Bathroom. Find the middle spot. 1'2". Remember, this door in the bathroom is only 2'4", which leaves us with 3-inch nibs, 3-inch on both sides. 3 inches, all these dots, 3-inch, 3-inch. This door, 1'3", 6. Two-for-one bargains. Okay. So that's all the interior doors. Now we can start the windows. Now I've seen people kind of mess up the front, so I would suggest making sure that you get the front door in the right spot first, which is right dead in the center. So right in the dead in the center should be 21'1" to the middle. So 19'7" to the side. Okay. Then the next one is over 2'10½", and then 3 feet. And then just repeat the process. You got all the dimensions there. So this spot right here is 1'11½". And guess what? It should be the same exact on the other side. We can start to now. Let's finish all the windows before we get to the front. I was just going to say let's start the front porch, but let's finish all the windows. So from the side here, the front was nice and symmetrical, but it's definitely a little bit different in the back. 3 feet. Just follow all the numbers and you'll be fine. 6 feet. 3 feet. 2'10½". 3 feet. 4'7½". 3 feet. 6'2½". 6 feet. And then there's just two windows on the side here. 1 foot 2 away. Three feet. 6 foot 4. 3 feet. All right, so now let's put the windows and doors in there. I'm going to draw them in different colors so they stand out. And honestly, in AutoCAD, we have different colors to help us with layers, but I'm not going to get into that at all. All right, so that's how you're going to draw a window. It's from the side, a 1/2 inch bigger, going outside and inside. So we said the wall was a 5-inch wall. So that means that the window is 6 inches. And then I just put a line down the middle. Okay, so 3 inches and 3 inches. Don't go nuts trying to get this 1/2 inch. Just kind of do it, especially by hand. You know, by AutoCAD we can do it perfectly, but nobody's going to sit there and measure it. Just try to just have it a little bit out. Maybe measure 1 and you get the hang of it, but you don't want to spend too much time trying to get that exactly 1/2 inch. It's not that important. Just try to make it look uniform. So just going to copy these to the next locations. I'll draw another one to show you in the front. So using AutoCAD, I do it a little bit differently. I put a box first, then I take this out a 1/2 inch and go in a 1/2 inch. And then I draw a line right down the middle. So 6 inches, 3 feet, a little bit 1/2 inch from each side, line down the middle. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. I would suggest, like, if you're using the parallel edge, draw all the fronts of the windows. Draw all the backs of the windows. Then you come in. I'm just trying to do this. Yeah. Trying to do this using AutoCAD, but trying to teach you hand drafting at the same time. You know, then you can come and do these lines. On the sides. And you can bring a line. You know, you're not going to draw the whole distance, but you're going to hold your parallel edge there. Hit all the lines in the front. Don't finish one window, go to the next window, go to the next window, go to the next window. Draw all the lines using the parallel edge. They're all nice and uniform. But of course, I don't want to say of course, but don't, you know, you leave it blank here. You bring your pencil across here, pick up your pencil. Do your pencil across here, pick up your pencil. Do your line across here, pick up your pencil. And so that goes for middle too. Maybe what I'll do is try to demonstrate this a little bit better. First, I'll put this red line. So just imagine that's where your parallel edge is, that purple line. So you came in and you said, now you darken this up. Now you darken that up. Then you darken the next one up. Then you darken the next one up. All right, right in between the openings. Hope that made sense to you. I'm just going to erase all that stuff. Copy, skip the front. door. Let's copy, copy, copy. Do the side windows. Okay, I got to do the front door, got to do the sliding door. Let me show you a sliding door. It's a 6-foot opening. So let's make a rectangle starting right here at 3 feet, comma 1.5. Actually 3'1", sorry. 3'1", 1.5, 1.5, and it's in the middle of this line. These are grips, so it's showing you in the middle. So set it up towards the top. Set up towards the top because the other one is going to be set from the bottom. So when it's said and done, this one's up on top, this one's on the bottom. They overlap in the middle, and that's how they intersect right there. We have to draw a dorsal. So using AutoCAD, I do 1 inch out, and 6'2" over. One, 6'2". Sorry. 1, 6'2". There you go. 1, 1. Still don't think I got it right. 1, 6'2". 1, 1. There you go. So that's the sill, the dorsal. All right. So to draw this door, we start a rectangle right at this corner. All right, so you can construct a rectangle. And you have templates. So you have that green template which shows you how to draw the doors. So don't forget to use that. At 1.5, 3 feet. So 1.5 wide, 3 feet long. Again, you can make them thicker if you want. Well, the template actually helps you do the thickness. So don't be concerned if you're and don't go crazy measuring it. Just as long, try to keep them all uniform though. Then the big trick is to go from right here at this intersection straight up. And you just need that arc right there. So nice clean arc. It actually comes from this point, ends up at that point. Let's see if that's normally the way I do it with AutoCAD. Let me see if I can demonstrate this better since you're drawing it by hand. So what would I got? I got the center point is here. My starting point is this point right here. My ending point is right there. Okay. Maybe that's better. I don't know. I always do it the other way. I've been doing that way I've been doing this for over 20 years. I'd say probably pretty much 20 years. And make sure you put the sill. Again, don't go nuts on, I have it 1 inch out. If it's not 1 inch out, sometimes the line is just flush right there with the wall. That's fine too. Looks a little nicer, a little jump out like that. And these windows are not the way I do AutoCAD windows, but this is perfectly fine for hand drafting. AutoCAD windows are a little bit more intricate. I show the thickness of the window, show the box. Okay, so closet door at 1.5, 2'6". I'm going to draw it the same way I just did it. So here's the center point. So you put your needle there. and you reach your lead over to this point, and then you're going to circle it up to there. And that's how you draw the arc. I'm just going to copy the rectangle to save a little bit of time. I don't want to make this video too long. Center point. So you put just your needle of your compass here. You reach your lead straight up, and then you circle it over to that point. You get a nice arc. Oh, you do have the template. So, but if you didn't have the template, you could use your compass. Right now, I'm just going to throw doors in really fast because I want to try to cut the video time a little bit. Same process anyway. This one, I'll draw one more door over here at 1.5, 2'4", and my center point would be here. My lead would reach over to here of my compass and draw the arc up to that point. This one, I'll show you a little trick. I'm going to copy this, rotate this 45 degrees. Never get that right. There to there, trim it. Doors in the living room here, 2 feet, 1.5. A lot of people mess this one up. And what do they mess up? You need to know where the middle is. So there's the middle of the opening. I don't know, they have arcs. They have arcs that basically like go from here to here. If you like stopping there, you know you did something wrong. I think what they do is they make the 4-foot opening, but then they try to put 2'6" doors. So something like that happens. So again, when I say, you know, if one person ever did it in my whole time teaching, I wouldn't bring it up, but I see it every class. So I think that's what they think. They see the 2'6", and that's the size of the door, but these are 2.0 doors. So the end result should look like that. It should be touching this line. These arcs come and touch that line. Don't be the one. I know. Well, in my current class, I'm just going to be one of you, and I'm going to call you out. It should look like that. All right. So that's all the doors and windows. Let's talk about the staircase. So here's the front of the staircase. You can copy this line back 10. And we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. You should keep everything light until you're finished. I'm using AutoCAD. I have the benefit of erasing perfectly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I needed 6. So see that? I can just erase it perfectly. It's gone. You don't have that benefit hand drafting, so don't draw anything dark until you're ready. Bring this line over 1 inch. And what did we say the inside railings are? 2 inches. Very good. Thank you. And from the front step, let's go back 2 inches. So from the side, 1 inch. And then the railing is 2 inches. 2 inches. Starting over here, put a line. go 10 inches. And 10, 10, 10. Then in the middle, you have this break marks. Do your best to replicate it, but basically it's just an angle. And then you can have some fun here, a little freestyling. Just make this break mark. And because I'm using AutoCAD, I can copy it. Basically, let's make it a little bit further up. No particular size, but not too close, not too far. Then where the lines intersect it, you can erase them. The railings coming down the stairs. I actually have it on both sides, which probably not normally happens, but I'll put a 2-inch there, put a 2-inch there. Usually just one side, but maybe they want it on both sides just to be careful. All right, so you got the railings on the side, 2 inches away from the wall, 10-inch treads. Distance between all these treads are 10 inches. The break marks, do your best to replicate that. Let's clean up the one in the front here, match this line up. And erase all those. The railings on top of the steps, that's the hardest thing. So the steps are going underneath it, right? So you get these little points here. This one's right up against the wall. Probably not really, but it's a hand drafting, that's okay. Just got the steps, we got all the walls, and got the walls, got the windows, they got the doors, got to build the front porch. Now the front porch is 5 foot out from the front of the house. But remember, or I didn't tell you yet, but it is not totally equal with the end of the house. It's 1 inch in. So from here to here is 1 inch. Of course, the front porch is 42 feet across. And guess what? That leaves me 1 inch here. All right. So 5 feet. By 42 feet. That's not going to work. That's not a good color. I'll just leave it on Pro Walls. That's fine. Okay, now you want to get the posts in the right spot first before you put all the railings. So from the side, let's go over, it's 5 1/4 to the middle, right? So maybe I'll be nice and tell you what it is to the side. I mean, you can figure it out yourself, definitely, but. And then coming back is 5 inches. So this is the center of all the railings. So where these cross is the first post, where the first, not the, yeah, well, the railings and the posts. So 5 1/4 by 5. So now we said we're going to put a 5 by 5 post right here. So I'm just going to draw it over here and then move it. You can look on your template for a 5 by 5.5 by 5.5 box. If it's not exactly that, if it's closer to 6 by 6, that's okay. Again, we're using AutoCAD. I like to try to draw everything as real as possible, even though it's a 6x6 post. In reality, they have 5.5 by 5.5. Go to Home Depot, check it out. So the next one to the center is 5 foot 10.5. So you could draw that to the next one. So what I was saying before is 5.25 to the center. But what is it from the side here? From the side is here 2.5, and 2.25 off the front. So 2.5 off the side, 2.25 off the front. Middle of post to middle of post, which is not the way we normally measure, but you're drafting it 5.5, 5 foot 5, 5 foot 5. Center to center, 5 foot 10.5. So I'll keep that on the screen for a second. You take a picture, or you can always rewind it, of course, but take a mental image. There you go. Now, a very cool thing happens with all these numbers, or with the center point. Let me make this a different color so it jumps a little bit. See that red line? Guess what? It's right in the middle of these two windows. And that was not an accident. The front of the house is very symmetrical, which makes it kind of a pleasure to draw. 1 foot 5.25. Okay. So all these posts are right in the middles of the windows. So using AutoCAD, I can move the posts a couple different ways at this point, but basically just keep putting them in the rhythm, 5 foot 10.5 to the centers. So there's all my posts, and you could just double check any one of them or check them all. You can see it's down the middle. Down the middle. Those blue dots are called grips, and they're showing me it's right in the middle. So locate all the posts first, so you know you're in the right spot. So then we said the railings, 3.5 inches. So if you had a line coming down the middle and you offset it or drew a line 1.75 on either side, so you have a 3.5 inch railing right in the middle. Or to the next one. On the side there. Some people draw it in the middle here, but they need to be able to get onto the front porch, so don't put a railing here. So you got 3 here, 1 up the side. You draw them all on the other side. There you go. Then do that. Steps coming off the front, 1 foot. So I'm going to start to project 3 lines. 1 step, 2 step, 3 steps, 4 steps up to my front porch. The distance, we want the same distance from here to here, which is 3.25. So from the side of this railing, let's go over 3.25. And 6 foot 8.5. Is the whole distance of the stairs. And going to end this 1 inch back from the front there. So that's what it should look like. Some key things is that this railing is on top. Some people don't remember to erase this little line in here. Remember to erase that line. I said it's 1 inch from here to here, 3 1/4 to the side, 12-inch steps, 1 foot. Whole thing is 6 foot 8 1/2. Okay, the back door, we have 8-foot deck. So find the middle of the door here, and let's go over 4 feet on either side, 8 feet. And then it's 4 feet out. Three steps at 1 foot each. Clean that up. 3 1/4 we said. 3.25. And then 3 1/2. And then 1 inch from the back, from the front. Now with this one, this is what people do is, they actually, I said to erase the line in the front, but keep it here. And why is that? Because from this point to this point, from here to here, this is on an angle because it's the railing as you're going up the staircase. And then this part is flat because this is when you're on the platform and it's flat. So there's a change in angle. So this little line represents the change in angle. Okay. So I'm going to throw the dimensions on there. 1 foot 11 1/2, 1 foot 11, 3 feet. Actually, I'm not going to throw all the dimensions on there, but you should double check all your dimensions. But actually, I'm just going to take them off to make it very clear that this is what step 1 is. So if you have this is step 1. But making sure you double check all your numbers before you go to step 2. I can take a look and maybe eyeball something. You know, I might catch something with my eyes, and believe it or not, you'd be probably surprised at what I do catch with just my eyes, not even a scale. But you should personally double check everything. You know, that's just good practice from being in school and for your career. You know, make sure you double check everything before you ever release it into the world. You don't want to be caught out there. You're basically as good as your last day, as good as your last drawing. You know, not your last day, you get fired, but you're as good as your last project. You know, you're not gonna, they're not gonna bury you if you make a mistake, but don't let people catch you. Why do that? Check your own stuff. So that's step 1. I'll be making the next step video, so look for that. If you didn't subscribe to my channel yet, please subscribe. Please hit the like button if you liked the video, or the dislike if you didn't like it. Please leave comments. I love to read the comments and tell me what I missed. Tell me what I'm doing good, what I'm doing bad, what needs more clarification. Maybe I can make a video about certain things that people need a little bit more explanation about. Keep an eye out for my next video, And thank you for tuning in.